You know that feeling, right? You're buried in project data, spreadsheets everywhere, but you still have that nagging question. Are we actually on track? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most critical knowledge areas for any project controls pro, K26. We're going to show you how to tame that data, turn it into real insight, and absolutely nail it for your apprenticeship.
So let's meet Jody. She's a super bright, level 6 project controls professional apprentice over at a company called IBS Stores. She's on top of her game, dedicated, and just really, really good at what she does. But there's this one piece of her apprenticeship where she's just hit a wall. It's a knowledge area known simply as K26. And look, if you're on this apprenticeship journey yourself, you probably know exactly what that feels like. This is the big question, isn't it? What is this thing, really? It's not just about memorizing definitions. It's about getting it, using it in the real world, and then, crucially, proving you've got it mastered for your final assessment. In this explainer, we're going to walk you through the answers. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow Jody's quest to conquer K26. First up, she'll get the theory straight with her mentor. Then, she'll put it to the test in a real-world situation. After that, we'll see how she builds a rock-solid evidence portfolio, and finally, how she preps for that all-important endpoint assessment discussion. Let's do this. Right, let's start at square one, the foundations. Jody sits down with her mentor, Adam. His whole goal here is to break down these big, complex ideas into something she can actually get her hands on and use. Adam kicks things off with the big picture. He explains that K26 is really just about answering the 3 most important questions on any project. Are we on schedule? Are we on budget? And are we actually building what we said we would? Think of it as the toolkit you use to give your project a proper data-driven health check. Next up, he talks about rules of credit. Now, these are super important. Imagine them as the official rulebook for measuring progress. They make sure that everyone on the project is scoring the game the exact same way. It gets rid of that wishful thinking or someone just saying, yeah, I feel like we're about 80% done. These rules are the foundation for any trustworthy analysis. And here it is, the powerhouse of performance measurement, earned value analysis, or EVA. Adam describes this as your project's combined GPS and its fuel gauge. It doesn't just tell you where you are, it tells you if you're on the right road and how much fuel you're burning to get there. It's the magic that brings scope, schedule, and cost all together into one powerful picture. But, and this is a big but, Adam makes it clear that EVA isn't a magic wand. It's a tool, and you have to know how to use it. On the plus side, it gives you an objective view and spots trouble early. The downside, it really needs a stable baseline to work properly. So if your project scope is changing every 5 minutes, your EVA numbers can get pretty wacky. Understanding these trade-offs is what separates a good analyst from a great one.
All right, Jody's got a handle on the theory. Now it's time to step into the ring. Her line manager, Riddle, gives her a real-world challenge that's going to take K26 right out of the textbook and into the boardroom.
And here we have it, the classic stakeholder question. Riddle's the marketing manager at IBIS Stores. She doesn't care about cost performance indexes or schedule variances. She just needs to know one thing. Is the super important new loyalty app going to launch on time? She needs a straight answer she can actually do something with.
So, Jody gets to work. With Adam's guidance, she crunches the numbers using EVA. And, well, the data tells a pretty clear story. That negative schedule variance of 20,000 pounds, that means they're behind. They've done less work than they planned to by now. And that negative cost variance of 10,000, that means they've spent more money than they should have for the work they've actually completed. It's a double whammy. Now, this is where the real magic of K26 happens. Jody doesn't just email that scary table over to Ratau, she translates it. She turns that cold, hard data into 4 simple, powerful messages. She explains the problem in plain English, gives some reassurance that it's fixable, and then, bam, a specific, actionable recommendation. This is the moment she goes from being a data analyst to a trusted project advisor. So, Jody's had a big win at work, which is awesome. But for her level 6 apprenticeship, she has to prove her competence on paper. So she meets up with her coach, Olivia, to figure out how to package this experience into some killer evidence for her APTM portfolio. Olivia gives her this really simple but really powerful 4-step framework. She says, Jody, structure your evidence like you're telling a story. First, say what tool you used and why. Second, show your work, your calculations.
Third, explain what the heck those numbers actually mean. And finally, tell me what happened next. What was the impact of your analysis? And this is absolutely crucial. Olivia makes it clear that you can't just upload a spreadsheet to AP10 and call it a day. The assessor needs to see your thinking. That interpretive commentary is everything. It's about adding your own note that says, hey, this variance was because of a supplier delay, and here's the recommendation I made that helped us get back on track. It's the why and the so what that will get you the marks.
Okay, her evidence portfolio is looking strong. Jody's on the home stretch now, but there's one final hurdle, the endpoint assessment. So to get her ready for that professional discussion, Adam and Olivia team up for a practice run, hitting her with the exact kind of questions she's gonna face for real. Adam kicks off with a classic question. This one is designed to see if she really understands the fundamentals. It's not about listing techniques from memory, it's about explaining why you'd pick one tool over another. And Jody's answer is just perfect, absolutely distinction level. She explains her logic. For tasks with a clear beginning and end, like say coding a login page, Eva is fantastic because progress is easy to measure. But for ongoing support work like project management itself, what we call level of effort, Eva is pretty useless. For that, she'd use a different method. She nails the key principle. You pick the tool that helps you make the best decision for that specific type of work. Next, Olivia chimes in with a question about communication. Because let's be honest, that's at least half the battle. You can be a genius with numbers, but if you can't explain what they mean to different people, what's the point? And she nails this one too. She lays out her whole strategy. For her project team, she'd give them the detailed metrics, the CPI and SPI, because that helps them zero in on specific problems. For her manager, Riedel, she keeps it simple, high-level trends and schedule forecasts. And for the senior execs, it's the 30,000-foot view, budget impact, final forecasts, and major risks. Her golden rule sums it up perfectly. Always, always turn data into an insight that helps someone make a decision. And just like that, you can see the transformation. Jody's done it. By breaking down the theory, applying it in the real world, and mastering how to communicate it, she's turned K26 from something that made her feel stuck into something that makes her feel confident. She is absolutely ready. Look, following Jody's journey proves that mastering K26 is totally doable. It's about understanding the concepts, practicing the skills, and never forgetting that your job is to turn data into decisions. So the question for you is, what's the first thing you're going to do this week to put your K26 knowledge into action? Go find that first insight.